So I was just talking to Marina, and she was kind of giving me a little bit of a backstory on how the two of you got together for Just Desserts and touring together. But because I'm going to put this interview in a separate piece, I thought maybe you'll give me a different answer. I don't know. So Wikipedia says you're on tour with friend and fellow singer Marina. So how long have you two known each other? How did that come about?
Well, I mean, I think we met a couple of times because we're obviously signed to the same record label, so we met at a few like awful record label parties.
You don't like those so much?
No, I don't think any artist really enjoys them. I think the artists enjoy like rinsing the free bar and then going. So we met a couple of times at those kind of things, and I guess really the first time we got to probably know each other was when we were on the Coldplay tour, and she was the main support act and I was opening first. Obviously, like, I knew of her music, and I always get a lot of comparisons to Marina as well. So it was kind of cool getting to, like, share a stage with her for the first time and realising that we were, like, very different, actually. But also both share, like, a love for cheese pop and that whole kind of, like, like, hyper real pop star thing. I think we both find it very fascinating. We just kind of got to know each other on that tour, really, and then I think the song came about just because we wanted to like kind of give a gift to our fans. I feel like we share a lot of the same fans. As we were going on tour together, we wanted to kind of do a song like for the tour, and we kind of just did it in like a week, and we'd spoken about it a lot, but it just kind of came together really fast, and it was really cool.
If you've spoken about it a lot, I won't continue to ask about it. I don't want to do that, make you say the same things you always say, but I do want to, just because I do work for MSN, and this is written for MSN, and we used to have a little program called MSN Chat, MSN Messenger, and I hear that has to do with this XCX.
Yes, that's right. It's with my MSN Messenger name, Charli XCX, which meant Kiss Charlie Kiss, and it kind of stuck from there. I loved MSN Messenger so much. Like, even after school, when I'd seen all my friends, I would go home and talk to my friends on MSN Messenger. I just loved it. I thought it was so cool,
Yeah, I miss it too. It's weird that it was like an era. It was about like 5-6 years where it was the thing right after ICQ, and then it just, I don't know, switched to text messages. There, like that whole idea kind of just died.
Has it stopped now?
Well, maybe it's just that I'm older. That's true. I don't know. Maybe the kids are still doing it.
I think it stopped because I think it stopped the week my album came out, which was kind of weird.
Really? It was because of
you?
Maybe.
Who knows?
True Romance is the record, as you know. Obviously, I don't know why I'm saying it like that, like we're on camera. We're not. So Tarantino, obviously, I hear True Romance. I think Tarantino. I mean, everything that man does is genius. Does that have to do with the record title, or is it something else?
Well, it wasn't a conscious decision to link it to the movie at all.
Have you seen the movie?
Yeah, of course, and it's one of my favourites. And I definitely think that Clarence and Alabama are two of the best kind of movie, like, on-screen lovers ever,
Right.
Possibly, like, the best romantic heroes of all time. But I wasn't really consciously thinking about that movie when I named the record. I was more just thinking about the fact that all the songs are about my experience of love and, what I think true romance is, which I think it's when you have both sides to love, when you have the moments where you're walking on clouds and you're in this dream world and you're feeling super happy and, beautiful, but then when you also have those moments where you're feeling lonely and depressed and you're crying, and I feel like those two things paired together are what true romance is, and I think it's very schizophrenic, and so that's why I named the record that.
Which of those sides of love do you find easier to write? Because I know a lot of people who when they're in that happy mode say I can't write when I'm happy. I need to be sad to write.
Well, I feel like I used to think that. I used to think I needed to be happy to write, like to get over something before I could write about it. But I feel like as I've gotten older, I feel like I can like embrace that kind of sadness. And now I definitely, I suppose I'm becoming a cliche. Like I prefer not writing at night and I prefer writing when I'm sad. You know, I'm becoming like an 80s cliche, I guess.
does that mean, sorry, finish.
No, that was it.
Okay, so I was going to say, so does that mean the next record? I mean, I know you made this. True Romance is long been done for you. It just only recently came out, but you've, I'm assuming, moved on as a songwriter since writing this record. So does that mean things are going to be darker now that you're writing from that sad point of view?
I'm not sure. I mean, I have an idea for the next record, and I'm beginning to write songs for it. And I mean, I don't want to pinpoint a direction yet, but I definitely know like 2 areas that I'm kind of moving towards, and it's definitely different from True Romance, but it's not going to be like super dark or anything. Yeah, just wait and see.
It's interesting. Talking about that album being done a year ago, though, and just waiting for it to come out. What was it like to wait, and how relieved? I don't even know if you can describe the feelings of relief now that the record is out and call failed. That sucks.
Hello?
Hey, sorry. I'm on the highway, so it must have cut out.
No worries. So do I feel relieved to put it out? And
what was it like? Was it your decision to delay it? Was it record labels? And what was that like?
No, it was fully my decision. I delayed it twice.
Oh, interesting. How come then?
Well, originally it was meant to be out in September 2011, and I mean, I have no songs, so I didn't want to put it out. You know, I was writing a record that I didn't think was right, so I delayed it then, and then I delayed it again after that. I can't remember when that was. I guess maybe at the end of 2012. Just because it wasn't right. You know, you only get one debut record, and just something wasn't sitting right with me. I didn't want to put this record out and then have to tour it and live with it for the rest of my life, and I hated it. So I knew I wanted to get it perfect, and that's what I did. In my brain, it is my perfect record, you know, and I'm not going to regret it, and I'm not going to, you know, be kicking myself, because I had full creative control over the project, and, you know, that's what I need to satisfy me, and it has satisfied me.
Well, what was it missing last fall? Were the songs not there? Was the production not there? Were there certain songs that you were waiting for to come to you?
It was production, and it was mixing, and it was artwork, and it was really small things like font, you know, like I'm very like particular, very picky, and it was all of those kind of small things. But it was mainly like mixes, you know. I wanted to bring things out in the mixes, and you can hear, you know, like Nuclear Season sounds so different on the album than it does in the music video, you know.
Well, talking about, I'm glad you mentioned music videos, because I did an interview a couple of weeks ago where a dude said, if I never had to make music videos again, I'd be happy. But you are the complete opposite. You love them. That sit around and wait and do this. So what is it about the music video process you love so much?
Well, I'm very creatively involved in the music videos that I make. I make all of my videos with Ryan Andrews. Apart from one I haven't done with him, but we're very close, and we, like, you know, work on everything together. We come up with the ideas together, and he, I guess, has taught me a lot about, like, how to see things and being on set and kind of getting more involved. Like, I'm not afraid to, like, you know, like, tell him my ideas and things that are going on in my brain, and we work very much together. So it's never boring for me, and it's always, you know, like, we're always coming up with new ideas for videos. Like, we live together as well, so it's like continuous, like, creative music video bubble land, you know. Both YouTube freaks, so it's like we're always thinking about videos, and it's kind of like living in a cartoon land sometimes, but I like that, you know. I feel like, especially because I see my songs as music videos when I write them.
Do you really? Like that's interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, a perfect example of this is with I Love It. I completely couldn't see a music video for that song, and so I guess, like, if I don't see a music video, it means I don't fully connect to it, and I guess that's why I gave that song away, you know? So, pardon?
No, I'm trying to think of that's a really interesting thought. So do you write, as you're writing, you're visualizing a music video as you're writing these songs, or after the song, I don't know, has come to you and you get in the booth and do the vocals and everything, then you start picturing a video?
yeah, at that point I'll start picturing a video. And I mean, sometimes it won't even be the video at all that kind of it ends up being, but I will think about it, like, and if I can't see a visual, then I don't want the song. That's kind of how I work. So I guess that's why I enjoy the visual side of what I do.
How does that translate into the live show? Do you try and incorporate these visual elements into the live show?
Not so much with this record. I mean, just because of like budgets and things.
Sure.
But I definitely the live show is very important to me, and I want to make it as amazing as possible. I'd love to make it look like Japan on stage. That's my kind of vibe at the moment. I've just bought this neon light stand which like changes color, and it's amazing. And I'm getting this neon lead made with 3 different neon like LED colors in, so it will like glow in the dark.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, so that will be really cool. So that's where I'm going with the live show, and I feel like that's definitely like reflective of like the songs on the record, you know, like I feel like it, because, you know, I think neon bars can be very like 80s, but they can also be very Japanese and very bubblegum as well, you know. So yeah.
Well, that kind of reminds me of the rave culture where you started performing. Like, how different are these shows? Is there a difference between a concert crowd and a rave crowd?
Oh, massive difference. I mean, first of all, like
from a performer standpoint, that is, like as you're performing to an audience.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like I did the Coldplay shows, and that's a totally different experience than, you know, playing in a sweaty club where everyone can like, you know, see everything, and it's just like this kind of box of craziness. Whereas in the, you know, in stadiums, it's kind of like much more distant, and people are watching you on a TV screen, so it's kind of not as real, you know. But in terms of the way I perform, like when I was playing at the raves, you know, I didn't have a band or anything. I just had an iPod and like some really crap, like homemade costumes that I would wear. You know, that was kind of my vibe. It was very like Michael Alec Party Monster-esque, you know. Whereas now I have a band, I've grown up more, and I appreciate simplicity more, you know. Did
you make the record with the band, or is it more computers?
No, I made the record with myself, and mainly this guy Ariel Rexshade, who isn't in my band, but he's a producer.
So now that you have a band and you've gotten used to this live show with a bunch of people, does that maybe change the writing process for the next record? No, you still like doing it the other way. Okay.
No, I like doing it on my own. You know, like I love my band, but they're my band.
No, but you have a comfort in writing by yourself. No, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I totally have a comfort writing by myself. Although we are going to go, and I just did this cover of Backstreet Boys. Yeah, the other day, and I think we're going to go in the studio and record that in a couple of days, like me and my band, and see what happens. Cool. That'll be fun.
Nice. That's my karaoke song. Actually, it always wins. You can always win a crowd over with the Backstreet Boys. I want it that way.
Yeah, yes, so.
Yeah, we don't have too much time, but I do want to talk about Lena Dunham here. And you like making music. Has that connection been made because of the song being played on Girls? Have you reached out to her camp? Have they reached out to you about, you know, creating some sort of music video together?
No, not as yet. I mean, not as yet. Like, obviously, I'm a big fan of her work. No, I mean, the connection hasn't been made, but I've always watched what she does, and I think she's great and beautiful and hilarious. So, yeah, you know, who knows? Maybe I've hit her up for me, and let's see.
Yeah, I'll tweet it. I'll make that happen. Don't worry. No, I'm lying. I can't. Before I let you go, 5 quick questions, 1-word answers.
Okay.
Road or studio?
Road. I don't know. That's a really difficult one. Both. Sorry, that's such a shit answer.
Boo. Yeah, all right. Well, you were leaning towards road before. I'll write I'll write a long R and then write both, so at least people can be like, okay, she was going that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Lennon or McCartney?
Lennon.
When you hear a song, what usually hits you first? Lyrics, melody, or rhythm?
Lyrics.
Song you've written you're most proud of?
I Love It for Iconopop.
Cool. And in 1 word, Charli XCX.
Emotional.